Go ahead.
Okay, so what the application basically um, is it's kind of it's we are kind of like a middleman service. So, for example, if you are an auto technician or a mechanic, and you have X amount of experience, you can sign up on our application. And if you are a client, then the what the service basically we provide is, let's say you want oil change done on your car. So, but you don't have time to go to the dealership because you're busy at work, or you just don't have time. So what you can do on our application is you can give a location of where the car will be located, what car it is, as well as what service needs to be done. And then on the auto technician side, they will get a list of all the jobs they need to do at which address. At which point, the technician will go to the location, do all the work that he needs to do, close the job, and that's it. So that is a gist of what the application is going to be.
Got it.
So,
Got it.
so my first question is, what do you think is the best way to approach such kind of a project?
Okay. So I have few questions. You
Sure.
have two different user types. So one is service provider and one is clients or the customers. So customers will list their services, what they need, and service provider will apply that. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So do you want this to be a like on-demand service, or do you want something? Because if it is a on-demand service like Uber, so in that case, client, what happens is if I need something, I will post the job and system will automatically find a service provider for me and assign him the job. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is like listing all the I don't have any urgency. I have listed what I need, and then service provider, all the service provider check those out, and whoever apply first, he will get the job. Or there is another type, third type we can do, like a bidding system where I have listed my service, what I need, and multiple service provider bid the job, like okay, I will do it in this amount, I will do it in that amount, and client will decide who will pick the job. So
Okay.
which way you want to go ahead?
So, okay, sorry to interrupt. So, I guess my question wasn't clear enough, and it was a broad question, so I apologize for that. So, the business model for us, it's clear. So, it wasn't a question regarding the business model. So, the way it's gonna work is you go to the application, you put in your zip code. It's gonna be by geolocation. You put in your zip code, and the location where you want the car. Then you select and based on that location, um, we will provide them options, date, and specific time where they can go ahead and get this service. And how the way we figure those out are, when, let's say, an auto technician signs up. So you are, let's say, a part of the program. So let you log into the application. The application is going to ask you, um, what day do you want to work and for how long do you want to work for. So if I say I'm going to work 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, for 8 hours, and this is the location, this is my zip code, then, based on his location and based on what the customer's order, we can show the customer the time location saying, okay, we have a technician. His name is, whatever his name is, and he's available between this to this. Which time do you want to take? And they can select the time, and the technician gets a confirmation, and at that time he can go and finish the work. So that's how it's going to work for us.
But if there is multiple service provider in that genre in that time period, how will the system decide whom to give the job?
So, based on who has, at that point, it will be based on who has the most amount of job. Let's say if you have 15 jobs for the day and I only have six, then it's gonna go to me.
I see. Okay. So system basically will decide who will get the job.
Yeah,
And
so
will
it's
there,
gonna decide based on a few key algorithms, which during the development process we will let you know based on what's the criteria to assign it out. But that's the gist of what the application is and how it's gonna work.
got it, got it. And will there be many categories? Like how? I mean, have you decided all the categories which we will provide service on?
Um, so obviously we're gonna keep on increasing the services we provide. In the beginning, we are keeping it short, so we do have a list. Uh, but we would also like a way if you want to add the list in the future. If you want to add a service in the future, it's not too difficult.
That's true. And obviously, I believe there will be an option for the service provider to cancel or not accept the job if something gets assigned to him, right?
So I mean that depends on the policy, and we're still figuring out the exact policy. But as of right now, we don't want them to be able to cancel it.
I see. Okay, yeah, go ahead and ask me what you are asking.
Okay, now do you know what OWASP is?
Workspace?
OWASP.
No. Can you please spell it out once again?
OWASP.
No, I don't know.
Okay. Um, so pretty much it's a open organization regarding security, and I want to pretty much follow the Ten Commandments when it comes to application security. So you will have to code based on that because we are giving extreme high priority to security and privacy. Specifically more than security. So every single thing is gonna be encrypted. Every little thing is gonna be encrypted. Um,
Sure. Okay.
so do you think you would be able to develop based on the regulations which are provided?
I have to see the regulations, but I can assure you one thing. We always provide the security and privacy to all of our clients, and usually we sign the NDA before doing a job. And I mean, everything is very secured. And after
No, 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 no,
completion of
no.
the job,
I'm sorry.
okay,
Again, yeah, I think we have a miscommunication. When I say security and privacy, I don't mean regarding the project. I mean regarding the application and the users uh, who actually are using the application. So their privacy and their security. So that's what I'm talking.
definitely. Okay, and actually, you know what? Their privacy and their security will define by the functionalities of the application. So we have to choose the functionalities which prevent them their security and their privacy basically. I'm saying, and nowadays it's a trend actually. App Store will not approve your app if their users' privacy is not taken care of.
Okay.
So we have to maintain anyway. I mean, I haven't read those norms, but I know the norms of App Store and Play Store, and they will not approve your app unless the users' privacy has been maintained.
And that's great. Now, I want to talk about security. Now, when it comes to security, how do you approach?
For
I mean,
security,
security as
like
like securing the application and making sure it
uh,
doesn't get hacked.
oh, definitely. So the main first of all, regarding the application itself, it cannot get hacked because it stays in Play Store and App Store, and when you download it, you cannot decode it basically. So it gets installed in your phone, and then you have to. I mean, you can work, you can do your job with that application. The main probability of hacking happen in the server now. for security purpose, the best thing we should do is host it somewhere which is already a secured place, like AWS. So if we host it in AWS, and we also do one very important thing, that is like everything, maintaining the server itself is secure. It cannot be you cannot log into the database of the server remotely. Only localhost, from only localhost it can be accessed. And all the, if we are using database like MySQL, in that scenario, removing all the default users, default database, and everything, basically making it secure. That's the main thing that we all anyway do. And encrypting the user ID password, that's a very normal thing, we have to do it. And if there is any transaction related stuff, we don't prefer to store the credit card details. We prefer to use payment gateway to store them if we need it. Otherwise, use every time user will go and pay, use a credit card, and all the transaction part should happen outside of the app, so that so that we don't have to take care of those norms, like PCI compliance and all those stuff. So this is how the security of the application has been maintained.
Now, here's the thing. Um, we will have to store the credit card information. Main reason is if they want to have more than one services, um, it's going to be a pain to enter the credit card information each time. Now, what we would prefer is the application after installation, it would try detecting to see if the user has Android Pay or Google Pay. I mean, sorry, Apple Pay or Google Pay. And if so, then it won't ask them any credit card information. It would directly take them to the application. If not, then it would require a credit card.
Okay, and you know what? For Apple Pay and Google Pay, the you don't have to store anything. They will store it for you. Number one. And if we want any third-party payment gateway, like for credit card, we need any third-party payment gateway. I will suggest to use Stripe, in that, because Stripe also provides the same feature of storing credit card on their side. So you just create a customer in Stripe. They will store the all the retail. You just have to call the custom. You just have to charge their credit card to by calling the Stripe API. So you don't have to, or we don't have to worry about storing the credit card details at any point of time. But
Hmm.
still, we can get the flexibility of we can give provide users the flexibility that they don't have to put the credit card details every time they try to purchase, or they trying to get any service.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Perfect. Now, for database, how would you move forward with the database? What would you recommend uh, be used for the database? The most secure, um, and the best kind for a project like this.
MySQL database is good enough for this. We can
S-
also, yeah, my skill will be good. Since there is tell me one thing, is it only with the zip code how the service provider will be maintained, or will there be any location based services, like within
Yeah.
5 kilometers of me?
Yeah. So it will be so okay. So obviously, the customer is not gonna have any a location restriction. Mainly because if you want to get it done at home, you can select your home location. If you want to get it done at work, you can select your work location. So for them, for the customers, there's really no restriction of where they want to um, get the service. However, uh, based on their location, we will show them the service providers if there are any available in that specific area. Now, as for the the service provider themselves, uh, every day they would have to log into the application, um, and based on actually No, I think yeah, I think it would be a location based because they would have to enter their home location, and based on their home location, we would provide them the thing nearby. That's it. Yeah, at least for right now, we're gonna keep it simple, based on their home location. So when they sign up.
Right. So, I mean, what I wanted to mean is like, will it be maintained or will it be matched by zip code or by distance?
Well, it's gonna be there is gonna be a restriction on there's gonna be like a limit. So how far is the driver gonna drive? So it's gonna search based on zip code, obviously, but within that zip code, it's gonna be based on a distance also.
I see. Okay. Then I will want to go with the PostG database. You know why? Because they have a very good support of GeoQuery, and we can achieve that with MongoDB as well. But it depends. Like if we want to go ahead with a native application development, then PostGE will be best for this.
Okay, Pro G. Okay, but you got the idea though, correct?
Yeah, perfect. I totally got the idea.
All right, great. So now you will be once if everything goes fine, you will be working with the designer. So based on what you think is possible for you, just
Mhm.
let him know. Um,
So designer, do we? I mean, do you have a designer, or we will
yeah,
design it for you?
no, I do have a specific designer for this.
Okay, no problem. We will definitely work with him and design it. But I mean, I need the complete list of features, or I will prepare actually my understanding for you. Just tell me a few things. Like I believe there are some auxiliary features which always comes with this kind of services, and how many of them you need. Like for example, uh, there will be rating and review system, right?
Yes.
Okay. Next is how the payment will work. Like, will it be post job or I mean at the time of booking they have to
At
make
the
the
time at the
payment.
time of booking.
Okay. And so every job will have a defined charge, right? Predefined
Yeah.
charges. I mean, okay.
Yes.
Okay. And how you will generate the money? Do you will you take the percentage of booking?
Yeah, so we will take so there's gonna be a service fee, and there's also gonna be a, percentage of the booking from the service provider.
I see. Okay. And do you want the money to be automatically divided into two accounts, or do you want to store all the amount in your account and the weekend or month end you want to transfer it to service provider account?
Yeah, so it should go completely in our account, um, and then we would give it out to the service providers.
Okay, great. So admin will have a web application where they can see all the bookings, all the transaction. They will be able to see all the users, all the service provider. And I believe service provider will register on their own, but admin will approve them. Am I right?
Yeah, so once the registration is gone through, it's gonna be a manual process. So we will have to do all the background check and confirmation and everything, and then we will manually approve it on our side.
Great. Okay, so admin will be able to do that from the admin side, admin panel, as well as they will be able to manage the category and all those stuff and see all the transaction and see the like kind of a wallet system for the service provider, like how many jobs they did for a certain amount of time, and then reimburse them that amount to their account. Not through the application. If you want, you can do that outside of the application also, but you can maintain a log in the application so that application can remember how much you owe for to that service provider.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Perfect.
perfect.
So what
Anything
I'll
I'm missing?
go for it.
No, I'm saying anything I'm missing, any small feature which you needed but I haven't spoke about it.
Let's see. n- on top, well, there is one feature I just want to know. So, what this is gonna do, for example, let's say you have an emergency, you want to get it done today or tomorrow. Um, what you can do is you can select this checkbox, and well, but then what's the time?
The premium service, like on-demand service, or kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of. But then what I was thinking was if they selected it's gonna cost them a little bit extra, but that whole extra money goes to the company and nothing to the guy because he's going. It's just a shift. It's just a location change for the service provider. So that way we know that's another way if we can take the income. But the problem comes in. How are we gonna move the slot? So that's not gonna work right now. Um,
There is no guarantee of availability of a service provider at that slot, basically.
that's the problem.
I see. I see. Uh, okay. Okay, I will think about this. And will there be any featured service concept, like service provider paid some extra to feature them in the application, show them
So
at the top?
so okay, so service provider is not gonna have anything. They are not gonna have a user profile for now. They're not gonna have any. It's gonna be exactly like Uber, where the service provider are technically working for us. That's how it's gonna be. They're not gonna be advertising a service to the people. They're gonna be working for under us. That's how the service providers are gonna be. It's gonna be like Uber. It's just gonna be for mechanics,
I
kind
see.
of. So
Got it.
that kind, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I mean, it was my mistake. There will be no listing of the service provider, so there cannot be any feature thing. So that's perfect. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that we are clear on that, so that's good. So yeah, what I'll
Yeah.
do next step is I'll go ahead and send you it's not a complete list of specification, but at least you get the idea. And you can tell me if you have any other questions regarding the list. In the meantime, I'll try to complete it and come up with something that I might have forgotten to add in the list. So
Sure. Except that.
I'll just share it to you on Upwork, and we
Mhm.
can move forward from there after that.
Perfect. And after that, I will like estimate the timeline and budget for you, and then we can start working together.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, perfect.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank
Thank you
you.
for your time. Bye.